In Acts chapter 5, we encounter a sobering story about truth, deception, and the holiness of God. Ananias and Sapphira, members of the early church, sold a piece of property and brought part of the proceeds to the apostles. But here's the critical point. They claimed to be giving the full amount while secretly holding back a portion for themselves. Peter confronts Ananias first, saying, "Why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and keep back part of the proceeds?" Ananias falls dead immediately. Later, Sapphira enters, unaware of her husband's fate, and Peter asks her the same question. She too falls dead. The entire community is struck with fear at the seriousness of sin in the presence of God. This story highlights a critical truth. God's Spirit is holy, and deceit cannot stand before him. In the early church, giving was not only an act of generosity, it was an act of obedience and trust in God. Ananias and Sapphira tried to appear righteous without actually surrendering their hearts. They attempted to manipulate appearances, but God sees the heart, not just the outward actions. The sudden deaths may seem extreme to modern readers, but they emphasize the reality of God's justice and the seriousness of sin, especially hypocrisy and deceit within the community of believers. God's standards are high because His Spirit dwells among His people, and He calls us to integrity, honesty, and transparency. Beyond judgment, this story also underscores the fear and reverence due to God. Acts 5:11 tells us, "Great fear seized the whole church and all who heard about these events." The early believers were reminded that the Spirit is alive, active, and not to be taken lightly. God is gracious, but He is also holy, and our obedience must be genuine. For us today, the lesson is clear. God sees our hearts. Pretending to be faithful while hiding sin or selfish motives can lead us away from life and blessing. True faith requires honesty, surrender, and a willingness to align our actions with our words. Ananias and Sapphira serve as a warning, but also as an invitation to live transparently before God. When we submit fully, God's Spirit brings life, joy, and power. When we deceive, even in small ways, we risk judgment. Let us choose the path of integrity, honoring God not only with our gifts but with our hearts.